Yo, 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 welcome, welcome, welcome. It's been a couple of weeks now since I was last on the channel. Welcome everyone far and near, wherever you are in the world, in the UK, in Africa, Nigeria, in the US, wherever you are. Welcome to the show. This is Pitch Points, working with True City Fan TV. Today we don't have our guests here today because they're all working or they're on preseason. Veta is somewhere in the Caribbean enjoying himself. And Patrick is working today. He may join us later on today. But I do have a special guest, very special guy, a chilled guy, calm, cool, collected, certified. How are you, man?
Man, I'm good, man. As you said before, I'm cool, collected, man. I'm like Kun Aguero. I'm ready, man. I'm ready for this, man. But yeah, what about you, man? How's everything? How's everything going?
I'm good, man. I'm good. I was out of town last week. I was in the heat. I'm back now. I had the opportunity to go see the oil in Dubai, man.
Man, the oil, yeah.
Listen. Let me just say something, right? If you don't like money, right, that's not my problem. And I'm not referring to you, sir. I'm talking about rival fans who talk about
yeah.
money, right? You don't like money. That's not my problem. That's your problem. Because I'm telling you, because what I saw, I've been there a number of times to Dubai, right, for work or for vacation, holiday. What I saw, man, is just magnificent. What these guys are doing out there is just mind blowing, man. The development, the growth, it's just astonishing, bro. Every time I see it, I'm like, whoa, this is incredible, man. But this is what they do. This is what they have. You know, they have good money. They have smart brains. They're innovative. They're inventive. And they've transferred that same skill set to our club, man, certified.
Oh, man, I agree. I agree, man. And the first thing, before I get into that, obviously, I've seen one of the comments there. So big up Patrick, and as I've seen him in the chat. But yeah, what they're doing in Dubai. I remember when I went, because sometimes when you go in, let's say, to Africa, yeah, and you're going on holiday. So sometimes from the UK, you stop, like when I normally with Emirates, you stop at Dubai. And you get to stay there, but you get to stay at the airport for a little bit. And sometimes you may even be able to go out for a few hours, depending on when your next flight is. And you look at the city itself out the window, the way it's architectured, everything like that. You're like, damn, this is big, man. You're like Sheikh Mansour, man. You're like, yeah, this is it. You can tell this is where the money's at, man. This is where it's at. But listen, I don't care, as you said before, about people can complain about money. If the money's in your team, you don't complain. I used to have friends that support Newcastle. They always used to be like, oh, yeah, you're the money this, the money that, money oil club. Now, I speak to them now, and now they're happy with the money. They're like, yeah, yo, this is how it feels to have money. Hey, say nothing. So, hey.
The reality is everybody likes money. And you know, people talk about, you know, oil money, and the way they use to talk about oil money is because they see it in a negative sense. And the reality is that if you look at FSG or you look at all these other, there's no money that's, you know, quote unquote quote clean, right? Everything is, there's no billionaire that's a saint. Let's put it that way.
No, there's no billionaires the same. Even I can even go with the ones that don't spend a lot of money. Like, I've heard lots of stuff about the Cronkies. I've heard lots of stuff about other owners, Abramovich, obviously, but obviously he had money, I guess. But I heard loads of stuff about Mike Ashley, you know, before he left Newcastle, the stuff that he would do as sports director, just certain things to his employees. So there's loads of things, man. Trust, there's loads of things that you hear about. So no billionaires clean it.
Absolutely. We have some friends here who are online. We have Leonard. He says hi. Patrick, True City fan. He says, "What's up, panel? Thoughts?" He said, "Patrick says thoughts on the lap." We'll talk about the lap because Patrick and I had an epiphany yesterday.
Epiphany. I can't wait to hear the epiphany.
Yeah, we had an epiphany yesterday, and we'll explain what we did. McLovin says, "What's up? What are Guan generals? We good."
No, my generals, but I respect him, man. Sterling and Stone. Respect it. Hey, man, yo, Patrick, calm down. Hey, listen, we gotta calm. Hey, I don't know, man. We'll see. I don't want to speak too much on it. If I speak, I'm in big trouble.
We won a show yesterday with some Liverpool fans, and it was great. It was a good fan. It was a good show. This guy, Statman Stubb or something. Liverpool fans, and they are what they are, right? They always think. They asked me a question. They said that, do I think that Salah was the best signing of the summer? And my answer was, I don't like to use the word best for anything. I know you guys like to use that word best for everything, but the reality is everybody who has a brain knew that Salah was going to stay this year. So it wasn't a surprise. Is it the best signing of the summer? I don't think so. There are other signings that can compete with that. Erling Haaland, for example, is a good signing for us. And it all depends on what club what your club needs. Right? You can't just say you're the best signing of the summer. What does that mean? But anyway, that's how they roll. But
no, I agree. All I'll say on that is that I agree with you. It's Erling Haaland for me, and Salah. Listen, Salah is the greatest. Like, if you want to say contract extension or whatever this summer, but for signing, listen, they let Mane go now. So I think it evens it out. Maybe not evens it out. Salah might be better than Mane to people, and I agree with that. But listen, for me, it's Haaland, man. What we did, 51 million. I don't even need to talk about that, man. He speaks for himself.
It speaks for itself. Certified. There's just no question. I think the only problem is because it was so early, it was done so quickly. It's like, whoa, it's one and done, right? And now we're talking about what else is coming up, which is why fans were impatient. We want to have the latest toy. We like that. But let's not forget. We cannot forget, right? We have Erling Haaland. It's certified. We have Erling Haaland, right? Madrid don't have him. Liverpool don't have him. Bayern don't have him. Barcelona don't have him. We have Erling Braut Haaland, arguably one of the best strikers in the world today. We have him. Which is why Pep, golf course, hitting the balls, talking about Madrid time and Fergie time. He's laughing it off because he knows that we have Erling Haaland. We have Erling Braut Haaland. Right? We have him. Right? This isn't some figment of somebody's imagination. We have him. Today's July 2nd. Welcome, Ade. Welcome, Patrick, to the show.
Hey, what's up? Yeah. How you doing?
We're just kind of marinating in the fact that we have Erling Braut Haaland. It seems like a dream. It doesn't seem real. It seems like it's not true, but we have.
Very true. Very true.
Welcome to the show, guys.
Yeah, we don't just have him. We've got Phillips. We've got, even though they're not announcing them yet, I know what the City are trying to do with Phillips, man. I know they're going to do like a surprise unveiling on the 10th, man. I know what they're trying to do with that. And then obviously we got Ortega, Alvarez. So listen,
we'll talk about all of them so far. Just a few guys out there. Veta is on. I guess he's on his way back, or he's chilling in the Caribbean. But big up
every time, man.
Enjoy. So Big Morgan says Milner was their best signing for
Listen, talking about contract extensions, I've heard stuff about Rodri. We're gonna try and get Rodri done by the end of the year. So
yeah, we have to. Evening, guys. Charlie says, so excited to see Haaland on Sunday. Correct. On July the 10th, there's going to be an unveiling at the Etihad for Julian Alvarez, Erling Haaland, Calvin Phillips, hopefully, Ortega, our new keeper, and who knows?
One of the best keepers in Bundesliga.
Exactly. It's going to be unveiled. Kind of like the one we had in 2008 or 2012. So when we unveiled David Silva and all these guys, the four of them, I think that's what's going to be happening. It's a free event. You don't have to buy tickets. It's free. And Charlie, if it's going to be free, won't there be a mad rush at the stadium? How's that going to work, man? Let us know.
What's the 10th? What's the 10th? Is it a weekend?
Yeah, I think so.
10th is
Sunday. Sunday?
Yeah, Sunday.
Yeah, this time, look, I don't want to sound bad. A lot of Liverpool fans, a lot of City fans, who are locals, complain that these events are done weekdays. So let's see what's going to happen now. What they're going to complain about. I'm just saying, because last time they were complaining that they're mostly on Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday when people are at work, and then that's when people are making fun of us that we have no fans. I just want to see what the locals are going to do this time. It's on Sunday, at a good time. Let's just see.
I'd sleep at that. Sorry, Patrick. I would sleep at that Etihad. That's all I'm saying. That day, because I'm just in first come, first serve. Listen.
Yeah, it is. I'd like to see how it's going to go on. Unfortunately, I have a feeling that if this is the case and they're doing it now, is this the end of signings? That means Cucurella maybe has failed.
No. We have 60 days, man. Don't forget. Anyway, but Ty says, hello, Blue Boys. Hey, quick, Ty's birthday is tomorrow, so everybody wish Ty a happy birthday.
Happy birthday.
Happy birthday, Ty.
Happy birthday, Ty.
Yeah, and congrats to Tyson, who made the finals for the MLS Next Cup. He's playing this evening at 6:00.
Nice.
He's a left with a center
That's
back.
big news, man. Big up.
Yeah, I'll send the link out so you can all watch Tyson play.
And congrats on Raheem the Dream.
We'll get to that point. What else? Who else is here? Ali says it's Eid on Sunday.
Oh,
Charlie says I hate it when it's a weekday. Thank God it's a weekend. Yep. SSB, welcome. Says, what does he say? He says United is a mess. I know this is a City team, but they're a mess. We'll talk about that in a minute. We'll talk about Cristiano Ronaldo's recent comments that he wants to leave Manchester United. He wants
poor thing. He wants Champions League football. So sad.
Charlie says, I hope there's a stage or something so I can see them clearly. Yep, I hope there's a stage. Ty says, thanks, guys. Much appreciated. Yeah, let's look out for his son today playing at 6:00 Eastern time in the MLS Next Cup final. Okay.
Sorry, Charlie, send me those videos again as you did last time. I appreciated them, Charlie.
Yeah. Okay. So today we want to just talk real quick about kind of generally the kind of some signings for each of the clubs. I was going to share a link right now and just share kind of what we have so far. We just use the link from the Premier League site, which is right here. And let me know when you can see my screen. Anybody can see my screen?
Yep, all good.
Okay, cool. Yeah, we'll just go through very quickly. So Bournemouth, nothing much to talk about. You know what surprises me, guys, is the amount of outgoings there are in the Premier League clubs. There are tons of them, man. And they don't get mentioned because, not everybody wants to know who's coming in, right? Or if it's not a big club, but there are a lot of outgoings. Look at Bournemouth, all these guys going out. You go to Arsenal, look at all the outgoings in Arsenal. There are tons of them. But we know Marquinhos from Brazil's coming in, Fabio Vieira. Anybody know much about Fabio Vieira?
I can't lie, man. I don't know about this Vieira guy. I don't know too much about him.
Yeah, go ahead, Justify. Go ahead.
No, honestly, bro, I don't know anything about him. All I was going to say is that I spoke to some Portuguese guy on Twitter. He said, yeah, he's rated over there. So I don't know too much about him, but apparently he's rated highly over there. So
yeah.
And
we know
I went to YouTube and I saw about 18 minutes of footage. All I can, as we all do. So all I can tell you is, it's quite funny that I bought him because he looks like he plays where Martin Odegaard plays. Odegaard at Arsenal. So he plays that position. So I wonder if Arteta is looking to deploy him and one DM. But what DM will play that? Because Partey, yes, he can play a good game, but is he liable? But he can operate the same way as De Bruyne and Silva can. So basically, apparently in Portugal, they relate him to, they sort of say he's a sort of a David Silva, Bernardo Silva sort of player. So that's what they're trying to hype him as. But he's very good. He's going to do well for them. He had a cast on his leg. People thought he was injured, but he says, no, it's not an injury. It's just precaution for something. So anyway, he's actually good, to be honest. He's going to be very creative. I think maybe Arteta is going to go with two of him and Odegaard in the midfield.
Interesting. Now we know that Gabby J is going to Arsenal. In fact, we've seen pictures of him taking pictures at the Emirates. And there's a possibility, or maybe it's dead now, Rafinha. How do you see Jesus fitting into that squad, and what role do you think he plays, given the fact that they need a number 9? Apparently, he wears a number 9 shirt. And so, Ade, go ahead and then let Certified and Patrick.
Just real quick, the Pitch Points logo is covering your face.
Oh, it is.
Yeah.
Yeah, we can see your face. All we're seeing is the pinch
you want to see my beautiful face, okay?
No, we didn't, but
So I think Jesus fits in fine. He's going to be an upgrade from. So it depends on how they use him. They've seen City use him as a wide, which he's very successful at, and we've seen him as a number 9, but he hasn't been quite as successful as a number 9. So I don't know. I don't know what Arteta is going to do. Arteta has the luxury of having been with City, so he will know how to utilize the guy. So I think either or. He'll be an upgrade from Pepe. I don't know if he'll be better than what Lacazette has given them or Aubameyang, but time will tell. But I think he'll be very versatile with that team. There's a number of things he can do because Pep has his player adapt to so many positions on the field. So
Yeah.
I think it's a great signing for them.
So, how did you feel when you saw Gabby in that red shirt, man, at the Emirates, the league picture?
Yeah, when I seen him in the new shirt, man, I was a little bit, man. It's like, yeah, it's confirmed. I feel like with Jesus is that I do think there's a player in there, and I think the fact that Real Madrid were in for him kind of proves that there is the player in Jesus. But I just think we got too many attackers, and I think that if he stayed, he apparently wanted to play a right wing, and I think he done well right wing. So I do think that Jesus, it would have been good maybe to keep Jesus if we didn't sign maybe, but if we didn't sign maybe a right winger, or we kept Alvarez, we kept Haaland, we kept Jesus, but that means that Sterling would have to go. And to be honest, I'd rather keep Sterling. So it's almost like he had to go, which is kind of a sad thing. But I think we got a good deal business-wise. I think we got a good deal. I'm not gonna lie, 55 million for Jesus, and I don't think even though I do rate Jesus, I think that it all depends on who they get beside him. But I think that he'll match maybe Lacazette, and I know Lacazette was important for them, but I think when he goes to Arsenal, he'll kind of be like that, and I don't think that might not even be enough for Arsenal to make top four. They might need even more than that. So I think with Arsenal, and I'm looking at the outgoings, I think Guendouzi, I rated that guy, Guendouzi, before. I don't know if you guys rated him or if you guys liked him that much when he was there.
I liked his attitude. I thought he was he had the championship attitude in terms of his personality. He always wanted to win. Right?
Always wanted to win. Always wanted the ball.
Yeah.
Then he went.
Yeah, but they could never keep Guendouzi though because he had a falling out with Arteta. So
yes,
that's the problem, and I think that's one of the problems with. It's not really a problem because I think Arteta he's really good, but I think Arteta's got that mindset that you're gonna have to follow that way, and I think that Guendouzi could have been key for them. I'm looking who else is there. Obviously Lacazette, that's a big loss. They lost to Aubameyang in January, so Arsenal are definitely through a transition. But for 55 million for Jesus, it's listen, I'm happy with cheeky with that.
Patrick, what's going on with Rafinha, Arsenal, Chelsea, and Barcelona? What exactly is going on?
It's called not having loyalty and being shameless, because this brother right here, Rafinha, has been accepting terms with everybody. Basically, if you go to him, even if City went to him right now, I bet you they'll say he's accepted terms. The guy doesn't seem like to. Okay, actually, apparently, it's not actually Rafinha; it's his agent Deco, because Rafinha accepted terms personally with Barcelona, but Deco keeps accepting everything when somebody whispers in their ear. But there's a bit of an issue, Carl. I've been looking at the story because obviously I wanted to laugh at Arsenal as they already had the jerseys ready, tattoos ready. They had the front three saying the Brazilian trio of Gabriel Jesus, Martinelli, and Rafinha. As always, they never learn. So what's happening is apparently he accepted personal terms and accepted everything, payment, every single thing. They had everything discussed with Barcelona. That was like 5 months ago. So Rafinha's dream is to play for Barcelona. Now you know these Brazilian players. If they have a dream to play for Madrid, Barcelona, that's what they want. But Deco wants a payday. Deco wants the sign-on fee. Now the club that's given the highest sign-on fee after Arsenal is Chelsea. Now the agent wants to get that money. Guess what? His client doesn't want to answer the call to Chelsea to discuss things. He doesn't want to answer the call to Leeds to accept this move. He is waiting for Barcelona to somehow dig up the money and pay for him. And then Barcelona keep coming with 40 plus add-ons. Leeds say no. Chelsea offered us 66 million. They offered 55. They offered, I think, 55 or something right away. They offered 65. So they say they'll pay them 55 right away. Like, why Barcelona, you know, Carl, what they're coming with? We'll pay you in installments like this. So right now, Rafinha apparently is holding back Leeds United from getting about 60 plus million just because of his dream of Barcelona. I don't know how it's going to end. What I think Rafinha wants to delay this. He wants to delay it until maybe Leeds get desperate. I think that's what he wants until the last minute. But Leeds can look at him and just keep him. I don't know how many years he has left. I want to also check this because if he's got 2 years left, maybe he has the power in his hand. But for me, as Rafinha, he says he wants Champions League. Sometimes it's for you to be smart, as you told me before about players like Sane. What's the other guy you said he had to be smart? Joao Felix. Remember we talking about Joao Felix? That it's good to be smart.
Tragedy, man.
Yeah, do the smart move. Right now, Barcelona are not in great shape. Yes, he wants to go there. It's his dream. But why don't you just go to Chelsea, where at least you will be settled? You know, at least the club has a new owner. But Barcelona are in debt. You don't know how things are going to go. So that's what's happening to Rafinha. That's the reason why they didn't jump to Arsenal. It's because he himself, Rafinha, is not saying yes yet. Yet Leeds have said yes. He's only said yes to Barcelona, who are coming with 40 million.
Yeah, I mean the story is Ade, that Chelsea offered cash to Leeds for Rafinha, not amortization, no, straight up hard cash. Remember, Chelsea's debt is now forgiven, gone. So they literally started from a zero debt baseline, no debt, like City, right? So they have with this new guy coming in, they have the leverage to be able to buy the players that they want to buy because they have no debt.
Yeah.
They go to Leeds and say, here's cash 60 million for Rafinha, we want him. Barcelona are saying, no, we pay you 45 over installments. And by the Barcelona just paid their first installment for Ferran Torres last week, which tells you how much they're struggling. I don't know how to think. I mean, what have you heard from Chelsea fans about this? I mean, and Ty, you're online. What are you thinking about this? Ade, go ahead.
I mean, what I think about it is, so I'm all about player empowerment. I think, billionaires own these clubs, and they get to have all the say all the time. And when they decided, trade players or sell players, they don't even bat an eye. So I think if a player has a dream to play for a club, I think us fans sometimes, the way we look at things is through a narrow lens. We just see, oh, I want this guy in my club, but they have a lot of factors. They have friends that play for certain clubs, or they like the weather down there. Not saying not living in London is not great, but he might have a preference to, living in, Spain. It might be similar to the conditions he, had back home or whatever it was. And so I never really fault players for wanting to go somewhere. So if it's his goal to get to Barcelona, then his manager or his agent has to make that work, regardless of if you're going to make money, because you work for the player. You can't say because I'm going to make more money from Chelsea, I'm going to go with you got to go with what the client wants. So if he and you don't want a player like that. If a player is set on going to a Barcelona and then he ends up at your club, chances are he's not going to perform at his highest level because that's not where his heart is. So you want him to go away. And that's why Pep has this policy of, if you say you want to go, you will be gone. It doesn't matter who you are. It's like, I want happy players. You want happy players. You don't want somebody to be unhappy. So I think I'm all for Rafinha going where he wants. And Chelsea has every right to go for him. But ultimately, he's going to end up, where he wants. He might get to Chelsea and be unhappy. So I would say it might be a blessing in disguise for Chelsea if he doesn't get there.
Yeah, just some breaking news right now. Fab is reporting now seconds ago that Barcelona president Joan Laporta says Rafinha wants to come to Barca. We have communication. I've spoken to Leeds. What's there is that there are other clubs that want Rafinha and are making the proposal. So they're competing for the guy's sign. He's probably going to go to Barcelona, all things being equal. There's Brazilian players that, as Patrick mentioned, have a way to.
He is, because he's put Leeds in a very difficult situation. But as Ade says, sometimes if somebody has a dream to play somewhere, it is. And you know yourself, when these South Americans say, I want Madrid, it is Madrid. He's going to delay this. He's not going to say yes, because apparently all he has to say to Chelsea is, yes, I want Chelsea, and Leeds will get the cash. Yeah, we'll get the money right away. You know what? It makes me laugh. Maybe Ade is right. This just makes me laugh.
It's the player holding. It's him holding it up. It's the player holding everything up, and he just wants to go to Barcelona. That's where his heart is.
Oh, if I was the boss, I'd be like, I'll slap you. We have 65 million waiting because of you.
Speaking about players holding things up, let's move to Chelsea real quick. They have many outgoings. They have Rudiger, they have Christensen, they have other players, Charlie Musunda going. Lukaku is the obvious one who went to Inter Milan, back to Inter Milan on loan. which is a whole different story by itself. You know, I mean, that's the whole saga of Lukaku going. But let's talk about where they're looking at. They're looking at bringing in Sterling, Rafinha, and then I've heard about De Ligt, and I've heard about Ake. Certified, you tackle Sterling. I know you're a Sterling file.
Yeah, but
How do you feel about Raheem going to Chelsea?
bro, I'm not gonna lie, man. This could be a big mistake. This one right here. I think that I remember when Sane left, right? We had Phil Foden, so I was like, okay, maybe he's coming through, breaking in, you know. But with Raheem Sterling, I've been saying to this guy, he misses a lot of chances, but he still bangs 10 goals a season, just in the Premier League alone. He misses loads of chances, then he ends up the season, you see his numbers, and you're like, how did this guy score 15, 20 goals again? And then you're like, nah, it's his movement. It's what he can do. And a lot of players don't get into the positions that Raheem Sterling gets his position into to even take those chances. So I just think that with Raheem Sterling, if the money's good now, and if we can't guarantee him game time, I understand. And if he goes to Chelsea, I don't care, man. I'm gonna still rave about this guy. I'm still gonna rate this guy. I'm still gonna always think that he is a City legend. I'm always gonna say that. But what I'll say is that he did say he wanted to stay, but he's not getting guaranteed the time. And I think that with Mahrez, who's nearly 33 now, so now he's coming to the end of his City career. Who we relying on? Are we going to give Cole Palmer the keys? Is that because unless we're not giving Cole Palmer the keys,
we'll talk about. I think that's part of the epiphany that Patrick and I had yesterday about the solution to this problem, which we think we may go forward. But I mean,
yeah.
I mean, is there a possibility again that Sterling is just playing time in order to get a free transfer next summer? That if it comes to the end of the day, if he doesn't get what he wants, he just stays. Then in January, he can negotiate with any club in Europe, and then next summer he goes for free, and he makes more money, and he gets a big bonus.
It's hard to say, man, but I will absolutely love Sterling. I think Sterling has been a stand-up guy since we got him. The guy plays his heart out, and he had a dip in form, and he's never been able to fully recover from it. And that's what happened to him. Because when Sterling was at his peak, he was unplayable. Like you couldn't drop him. But he had one lull, and then other players started stepping up, and he quite big back in the team. And I gotta put like I said, I always put myself in the spot of the players because you have to. And from his perspective, there's a World Cup coming up. He's not a starter. It's like, how do I get into this team with this list of stars? Maybe I should go somewhere else where I will. If he goes to Chelsea, he will start. But over at City, there's no guarantee for anyone. Pep doesn't guarantee playing time for anybody except Kevin De Bruyne, Edison, and Diaz. Maybe Diaz. That's it. There's nobody guaranteed playing time. So he's looking at the situation and saying, yo, maybe I need to, because if I want to get my money up, like you just said, I need to show people what I can do. And if I'm only showing it every now and then when I come in for 20 minutes, they don't really know, and I won't get the big bucks when I maybe decide to leave next year. So I think we might still keep him, but I think it's all in Sterling's hands. Sterling is the one pulling the strings here. Because if he says, Pep says, if he says he wants to go, he's going to be gone. Pep's not going to keep you around when you say you want to go. So I think with Sterling, it's a maybe. He might decide, you know what, even the little time I get with City is still going to be better than, because it's not about trophies anymore for him. For somebody like him, trophies, like he wants to get playing time and he wants to be a contributor to the team. So I think with Sterling, it could go either way, but I love the guy. He does his job, with the little bit of minutes that he comes. He doesn't finish, and I think that's the only knock on Sterling. Nowadays, he just doesn't. And you need it.
Yeah, Ade, you're breaking up. You're breaking up a bit, Ade.
Oh, okay. I'm going to fix it.
Is it me or is it Ade breaking up?
No, it's probably me. I'll fix it.
Yeah. I mean, Patrick, Ade has and we've debated this back and forth, you and I. I've moved on from it. But there's still a bit of me that's hopeful that Raheem stays, because I want to see Raheem with Haaland, with Foden in that front three. I want to see what he can do. I always talk about the fact that the reason why I hate inverted wingers Patrick, is because we play Brahim on the left. I like him on the right. I like his dynamism. I like his directness. I like his trickery on the right. He creates space for the number 9 and the number 8 to get in positions on the right side. We talk about the goals, against Aston Villa in the last day of the season, certified. The reason why Raheem gets that goal is that because he pulls the right back in towards him first of all, and then runs behind him and then crosses the ball for Gundogan to score with a header. Right? Mahrez doesn't do that.
His movement.
Yeah, but it's up to him. Right now, they've offered him a contract. It's up to him to sign the contract. If he doesn't sign the contract, then he has to go, right?
Yeah, I agree with that point. That point that you said, and you told me about that before. To be fair, I just think that with Sterling, I think that as you said there, and obviously as you already know, because you've been a coach, right? So you know that when playing Sterling with a striker, he plays better. And I think we can all see that when he's got a number 9, he plays better with a number 9 than with the false 9. And the whole kind of, when Sterling started to be the Sterling that we know right now, it was when the false 9 came into play. And I think that before that, he was scoring goals. Even when Aguero got injured halfway through 1920 season, Jesus was still a proper 9. Like Jesus was at that point. We all didn't think that would sell Jesus from that. We still thought he was a good backup. It wasn't until that he came the next season where we're like, oh, this is bad now. So I just think that with Sterling is just give him a striker. When he plays with England with Harry Kane, he plays so much better. But it's crazy to me. But we need to try and keep him.
We'll see what happens. Just moving over real quick. Look at Fulham, mate. Look at how many people are leaving Fulham. What is going on? Look at that.
Yeah, to be fair, Fulham, Chelsea, even both the West London clubs, I'm telling you, that list of Chelsea didn't even include Christensen, Azpilicueta. So listen, there's a lot from those two teams, that Chelsea, Fulham, those two teams are getting a lot of players. But I don't know, man. I don't know, man. I don't know. Maybe Fulham are coming in to get the bag and then get dip. You know what I mean? They're coming in for the money and then they're going to go back down, do a Norwich.
Yeah. Leeds, couple in. So this guy, Brendan Aronson, he's quite good. US player. He's a decent kid. Mark Roca from Bayern Munich, he's also a decent kid. These guys are good guys. Are they replacement for what they're losing? No, but they're pretty good guys. Let's go to United real quick. We'll come to City. United, look at the United. Cavani, Mata, Paul Pogba, Lingard. I don't know who Lee Grant is. Matic, Dean Henderson, all out. And then we hear today, guys, that Ronaldo wants to leave Man United. Ronaldo wants Champions League football. He doesn't want to play Europa League. He was designed for the Champions League, and he wants to leave. This was broken by not just Fabrizio, but also by David Ornstein, who I rate very, very highly. What is going on real quick with United, guys? Patrick, what's going on, man? How much chance does Ten Hag have?
Like, look, it's a good thing that Ten Hag and a lot of respected coaches are coming to the Premier League. I think it's good when there's competition, right? For me, I'm not like other City fans. I heard some City fans were saying, not all of them, but some were saying that it's good. We have to continue dominating this has to become like the Bundesliga. For me, I wouldn't like that. I want every team to have the best coach they can have. So far, let's be honest, there's a lot of good coaches here. Even the Fulham one, even though things didn't go well for him, Marco Silva was good. I liked him. It's just that he got a bit greedy too early and decided to move somewhere where I think it wasn't time for him to move yet. It's good to see Conte here. It's good to see Thomas Jeremiah Tuchel. It's good to see him. It's good to see Ten Hag. You know what I mean? Like all these guys, it's good to see them. Like as I said, I enjoy. Just unfortunately, let's hope Arteta also becomes an elite coach so that there can be competition. Because I want to see competition. I want to see high quality games. I want to see games like Liverpool versus Man City. I want to see those type of games. You know, where when top six are playing, there's intensity. There's a tactical masterclass from somebody. I want to see most of these teams go that way. So for me, for Ten Hag, I think he'll do well. For me, Ten Hag today, with this Ronaldo news, Ten Hag has to go in a room, lock himself up, and kneel down and say, "Thank you, Jesus. Thank you, God, for answering my prayers." Because this Ronaldo guy was not going to press. As
Yeah.
long as much as Ronaldo is loved, this is not the Ronaldo of the old.
Yeah.
He's not gonna press track back. He will score the goals, but he was a bit selfish sometimes.
Yeah.
Even though people wanted
So,
to paint
Patrick,
him
what you're
as
saying is that this is actually this may be a blessing in disguise for United.
it is. I think even it makes an easy. I don't know if I can agree with me. It even makes it easy for Ten Hag, because I bet you Ten Hag deep down wanted this guy gone. Because why would you keep a 37-year-old? Ten Hag
Yeah.
wants to build.
Yeah.
Why should he concern himself with tactics with a 37-year-old who doesn't want to be benched? By the way, he never wanted to be benched. When he's benched, he causes a commotion. So Ten Hag right now has to be happy. But I want him to succeed. I know it's Man United. We hate United. We like laughing at United. But I think we've laughed enough. Let's just see quality football. I know they'll not get back now. I think they might actually finish 6th again. But I hope the Ten Hag cooks.
There's an argument to make that actually United without Ronaldo actually may be better than with Ronaldo.
Yeah. Can you guys hear me now?
You hear you.
Okay, awesome. You know what? I think this is like Patrick says. This is a blessing for for United. They have to find a way to get Ronaldo off that team. People look at his goal scoring and they always think, "Oh, he's scoring this many goals," but he's not. That's not a functioning offense. You need the EPL now is very fast. You need dynamic centers. At his peak, Ronaldo would have fit in perfectly with any team, but he's older now. He's not pressing. He doesn't do anything but wait for the ball to get to him and make a quick movement and score the ball. But he's not running, making like moves like you want from the modern center forward, where you're moving and you're speedy. Like you need that in the league today. And without that, I just don't see how that offense works for him. So if they have any way to get him out of that team, I would say you guys better get him to Napoli. He wants to play Champions League. Aren't they in the Champions League? Get him over there. Get him.
Where does he go? Where does he go? He can't go to
Ronaldo.
Yeah.
Nah, I just think that for me, I think he goes Bayern Munich. I think if Lewandowski goes to Barcelona, I think short term for Bayern, they'll be like, yo, unlike Man United, Bayern have already got a team ready round them. And I said this about Ronaldo. Ronaldo, when there's a team round him right now, he can finish. I look at Lewandowski, it's the same thing. These guys, as long as there's a team round, they'll just keep scoring for fun. The Bundesliga, he'll deal with that. He'll win the Bundesliga. That's another internet trophy for him, and then he'll probably retire there or at PSG or something. I think that I hear what everyone's saying about it might be a blessing in disguise. But honestly, I was celebrating the fact that he's leaving, just because I do think it makes me wonder two questions about Man United, right? First of all, why did they decide to sell? I know Ollie was going through doing some mad, like Ollie was getting this Man United team into some, I don't even know what he got them into. But Ole Gunnar Solskjaer literally got these guys second, playing Rashford, Daniel James, Martial. So my whole goal was, why did they not stick to this whole youth project thing and all that they were trying to do, instead of trying to get all of these superstars now? And I don't know. So that makes me think, oh, Man United going back. And two, I'm thinking that even if Man United, let's say, finish sixth this season, like for me, wouldn't it make more sense for them at least to keep Ronaldo, try and get in the top 4, then when Ronaldo goes in the top 4, start the rebuild when you're in Champions League, instead of trying to start a rebuild right now, finishing 6th, and then possibly finishing 6th the following season. Now, I don't know if this Man United, man. I think he's gonna go, then Varane. That's what I think.
I mean, I think. I mean, for United to play the way City, Chelsea, and Liverpool want to play, which is a high pressing game, everybody in the front 3 or front 5 have to press together. I don't know if Ronaldo at 37 can do that level of pressing that is required. I don't know. And once one person doesn't do it in that front, it all breaks down, because then there's going to be a hole which other teams will exploit. I remember when we played them at Old Trafford, it was ridiculous, man.
Yeah, they couldn't get the ball.
They couldn't get the ball. They couldn't press, they couldn't run, they couldn't get the ball, because
but people are always enamored by his goal scoring, and I don't think that's the way to look at it. This isn't like Certified was just saying, When you have the team around him that he doesn't need to do that, then yes, it'll work. But in a team like United where they're trying to build, everyone needs to play. Everyone needs to put in their part. And Ronaldo's just walking around like, he's kind of like how Messi was with Barcelona the later years. But even though Barcelona didn't need Messi to press, he was still effective. But it's not the same. Ronaldo has always functioned as a number 9, and without that speed on this current team, he's not going to be effective.
But Aid, where do you think the goals are going to come from? Like, where do you think particularly? Because
they're going to have to. Go ahead. I'll let you finish.
Now, all I'm going to say is that maybe Bruno comes back again. That 20-goal, 25-goal Bruno Fernandes that we know. Maybe he starts doing that.
No, see, I have a different take on Eric Ten. The way if you watch his team, everybody is contributing. He wants to do what City's doing. The goals will come from everywhere. Once you're playing as a team, like what City does, the goals come from anywhere when you're not reliant on a traditional number 9. If Ronaldo goes, you guys will see everyone is going to have to put in their you're going to have to earn your paycheck. You're going to have to put in time. So the goals will come from everywhere. But if he wants that traditional number 9, he needs somebody more dynamic than Ronaldo. Ronaldo is not what he used to be. And so I think if Ronaldo goes, the goals will still come. They'll just come from everywhere else. People elevate their game. And that's what happens. When you lose somebody like Ronaldo, everyone got to step up. It can't be Bruno, because if you rely on Bruno again, it won't work. it just won't. Everybody got to step up their game.
There's another rumor that poor Frankie de Jong, what's he gonna do, right? Barcelona don't want him, and the guy doesn't want to go to Man United. I mean, what is the kid? What does he do, Patrick?
Did you not see the breaking news? That apparently there's something that Barcelona that said that apparently Laporte said that he wants to keep him and has no intention of selling him. Wow. So I think, and then he said something like there's only a salary issue, but he would want to keep Frankie and he doesn't want to leave. So Man United, they're finished, man. They're done.
So you know what Laporta is doing? He's telling Frankie, if you want to stay, lower your wages.
Yeah,
essentially, right?
They're going to sell him. They need the money. Like Rafinha ain't coming cheap. They need the money, and they think about the disadvantage of the kid Frankie de Jong. He went to it's him and Dembele, Griezmann and Messi. Obviously, let's just put Messi away. But him, Griezmann, and Dembele went to Barcelona when Barcelona were giving pay away like chickens. They were just giving you whatever you want. Because remember, Griezmann was on 845k a week. Then comes this kid Frankie de Jong on 535, and then comes Dembele on 3 something or 4 something. So Barcelona desperately want De Jong and Dembele to leave, because as soon as those two just get out, it's Griezmann gone, Messi gone. These big guys who are getting so much money are gone. They have enough money to register Frank Kessie, Christensen, and the people who are coming in. So they will force him. They will push him. And as Kawa said, for him to stay, he's gonna have to reduce those wages heavily.
Patrick,
yes,
but
Adam.
that doesn't make difference, because Barcelona still owe Piqué 80 million in deferred wages that they have to pay him within the next 2 years. So where are they going to get that from?
Don't you think
a God-fearing mother or something?
Yeah, don't you think they treasure Piqué more than Frankie de Jong? Frankie de Jong, they don't have any attachment to him. Trust me, Kao is right. If the kid comes to them and say, I truly want to stay here, reduce my wages, they will make a U-turn. This is all about reducing wages. But the thing is, will Frankie de Jong do that? Will he come from 500 to get a contract that's less? It's up to him. But look, at the end of the day, let's not forget, Ten Hag is his father. That's his daddy. He wants to go to his dad. Ever since he went to Barcelona, things haven't worked out for him. Javi has been putting him on the bench, and Javi says he doesn't rate him. I'm telling you, this kid will end up with Ten Hag with a better pay, and he will just go on. I think so. I think he'll end up at United.
I mean, I can see him. I mean, Xavi doesn't want you. You know, the club don't want you. They want to reduce your wages. United are now in Champions League, then Europa League, but your father is there, and you give you game time. You probably end up going there, man. But he's not going to win anything there. That's the issue. Unless he becomes the face of Man United going forward. If Ronaldo goes, then Frankie becomes the face of Man United. Frankly, who else is there? Not Maguire, not De Gea. It's going to be Frankie De Jong,
Man,
right? I mean, that's
maybe Europa League Varane, maybe. You know, he's the only guy there. That guy, man, I'm telling you, he's another guy. I can't let him go with the allegations. This Varane has been a fraud, but that's a conversation for another day.
Yeah. Let's move real quick to the team that I am concerned the most about next season. I'm really concerned about them. Adam, coming to you. Adam, welcome to the show. Lechelle Blue says, demise of United, loving it. Absolutely. Tottenham Hotspur and Antonio Conte. Adam, how concerned are you what they're doing?
I've always said, I remember saying it on a space that, listen, I said it to Liverpool and Man United and Chelsea. I said, listen, do not roll out Tottenham yet. Tottenham could do something very dangerous next season. I said, if Tottenham, their best interest is helping Conte and giving him what he wants, because with Conte, he doesn't get ready for the future. He wants everything now. Yeah. Since when he was at Chelsea, I learned my lesson. I feel like Conte, he has something under his feet.
Yeah, your volume is bad, Adam. Your volume is bad.
Is it much better now?
A little better.
Yeah, and I was saying, it wouldn't surprise me if he ends up finishing second next season. That might sound crazy, but I actually think that he can.
No, I mean, I did coming to you on this one, man, because let's look at Tottenham's games against City and Liverpool last season. Played 4 games against City and Liverpool. Took, 8 points out of 24, out of 18, right? 1, 2, 3, 4. 4 times 3 is 12, right? Yeah, 8 points out of 12. 8 out of 12 points versus City and Liverpool. Could have gotten, maybe 11 out of how 9 out of 12. How concerned are you with Tottenham next season, Antonio Conte?
I'm really sorry. I was on mute. I'm actually pretty concerned with that team. I was thinking about it the other day. I was trying to make myself feel better. I was like, look, the only thing I can say is, it's going to take them a minute to gel, because that team was already functioning with the players they had. They know each other. With the way they played differently last year and the year before. With the way they played, where they were sitting back, they were counter-attacking. But with the players they're adding, they're not going to be playing counter-attack. They're going to be going at you. So it's much different when you're attacking a City, when you're attacking a Liverpool. When you're sitting back and you're taking your chance on a counter-attack, it's different. So that's the only knock I can say. But the players they've added are fantastic. But I don't know how they plan on playing with Charlton. Like, do they start?
Yeah.
Because I'm assuming Kane is not going to be dropping in the middle doing what he was doing anymore. He's going to have to play up front. Are they playing Richarlison and Kane up front? How does that work? Bissouma, obviously, is the central defender. He's going to be there. And Ivan is probably going to come off the bench. But I think they made fantastic signing, but they're going to see what Liverpool and City see every single season. Teams are going to say, hey, you have all these great players. Guess what? That's great. We're going to sit back and you're going to do your magic. We're not coming at you. You're going to do your magic and we'll give you the City and Liverpool treatment. It's a different ball game when teams start playing you like that. Because what City and Liverpool do, it's not easy at all. We have to constantly every single game. We got to break things down. So Tottenham has officially joined that group. When they play us, I want to see if they're going to sit back and do what they've done before, or they're going to attack us. I would say they're going to attack us. So there's a little bit of wait and see with what Tottenham is going to do, but I think they made fantastic signing that puts them up there close to where Liverpool and City are.
Certified, do you remember the press conference where Pep said that about Stones, that Stones has more balls than everybody standing here? Remember that press conference?
Yeah, I remember.
I think the primer to that was the fact that he was saying that, do you know how hard it is to play, your high line with 40 meters behind you?
Mm-hmm.
Do you know how hard it is to play a high line with 40 meters behind you? It is hard. It is hard.
It's very difficult.
So at this point, welcome to the club, Tottenham.
Yeah,
now you got all these great players. Brentford and Coles. Yeah, they were just okay.
Very difficult. What with Van Dijk, with Sterling, Laporte, Diaz, Matip, all these guys do day in day out every single game at the midfield line, and you got all these speedy attackers. It's not easy. So welcome to the club. We'll see how it goes.
Welcome to.
You have to rely on midfielders, man. You have to, because the thing is you can easily get the ball can easily be switched. So like, let's say Burnley, for example, when they were here, or let's say Forest are coming, they can sit, or Palace, they always do us on the counter attack. Palace on the counter attack, they just sit, and when you sit, it makes the defenders look better than they actually are. I remember the Tarkowski hype, Harry Maguire, when he was at Leicester. Listen, these guys, when they come in and play this high line, they don't look this. Some of them don't look the same. So that's why I always give credit to the guys that can play a high line, because that shows me that they can play not just the high line, but if you put them to sit back as well, they could easily sit back as well. But obviously, their football, they're way better than that. But with Tottenham, I'm worried a little bit with maybe in the future. But for now, my main concern is Liverpool. I can't lie. This Tottenham, I hear the Basuma, I hear the Perisic, but I don't think the defense is good enough, to be honest. I don't think Lloris is good enough anymore. I think that they still need a few centre-backs. If they got Bastoni from Milan, then I'd be like, okay, maybe. But Eric Dyer, he's not a centre-back, man. He's not a centre-back. He might look good, but he's not a centre-back. So
yeah, Big Morgan, I hear you, man. They didn't lose versus Liverpool and City. But what I'm saying is they're going to have to change the way they play. With all these guys they're signing, they didn't sign them to sit back. They can't sit back anymore. So they're going to have to change up what they do, Big Morgan. I hear you.
I also think that Harry Kane will go up another level again next season. I think last season, he still played well, but he didn't play well the first part. He came alive in the second part of the season. I think he will start. I think Harry Kane will be back to his best this season as well.
Yeah.
Let's wrap up this segment, Patrick, with your favorite team, your best friend, Liverpool. It's funny how we got Erling Haaland, and all of a sudden they spent 100 million on Darwin Núñez, and then now they're saying that Núñez is as good or better than Erling Haaland. I mean, how do you see the window going so far, Patrick? And what are you hearing from the Liverpool Echo and all the guys who rummage your timeline and your DM?
Do you know why Liverpool fans don't like me these days? Because I tell them the truth. I don't hide anymore. I go straight to the nail and tell them. Like today, that argument I had because I said the midfield is poor and Phillips would walk into the midfield, which is fact. The midfield is poor. Henderson is a hard-working man with no skill. We've had those people. When I was in high school, when I was in primary school playing football, even high school, we used to have people who had no skill but used to work hard, and that's how they got into the team. But you still need people like that, because those working hard people are the ones who keep running when those ballers are trying to give up. That's why Henderson is there. Curtis Jones is always overrated. He's not a gifted youngster. There's gifted youngsters out there. The only gifted youngster they have is Trent. Maybe Elliot to be something, but that's Liverpool in a nutshell. Now, you saw yourself, with all due respect, I like Stuntman Steve. Even though sometimes he doesn't know when people are throwing and people are not throwing. But like yesterday, for instance, to say Salah is the best signing of the window, I think that was that was just too much. It's the same as De Bruyne renewed his contract before the end of the season.
Yeah.
We could have said De Bruyne is the best signing. No. The best signing is somebody coming in. Look, with Liverpool, Origi going, I'm very happy. You have no idea. People have no idea that Origi going is actually an advantage to most rivals, because this guy was banging in goals by just being brought for 2 minutes. Out of nowhere, he could give them goals. This was Klopp's plan D. I always said Origi was Klopp's plan D. When stuff is not working, Klopp used to throw Origi. Origi somehow found a way. Another guy who went was Mane. Funny thing is, a lot of Liverpool fans keep saying by Jesus and Raheem going at City, we've weakened ourselves. Yet they're not talking about Mane. Mane, the difference between Mane and Salah is this. Salah is a goal scorer.
Yeah.
Mane is a player. Mane is the guy who works hard for you. Mane is the guy who is not only a hard worker, but he's also a baller. Mane was getting them clutch goals. Salah will score goals and start bad against Watford. Once in a while, he will fall down against City and get a penalty. do something. But if you look at Mane was very scary. People used to draw themselves to Mane, giving Salah the space. I don't know if that's going to continue happening. There's nothing I want to say. But the thing about it is, this Liverpool team, I was going to be more scared with them if they got another DM. I think Henderson, who can play DM and CM and play it everywhere, is not good enough when Fabinho is gone. You can't rely on Henderson for almost the whole season if Fabinho is injured. I think they should have invested in a midfielder. But I'm happy. To be honest with you, I didn't know I didn't know Nunes was top 5 strikers until he signed for Liverpool. I know you rated him, but I didn't know that he was rated that high, because as I said yesterday, if Nunes is as good as you're saying he is, why when Bayern failed and Madrid failed to get Haaland, how come none of them went after Nunes?
Yeah.
That's what I wanted to say.
Hey, don't be surprised if Darwin Nunes comes out with he has asthma.
I mean,
I tell you, hey,
yeah.
hey, how is a 36 or 37-year-old useless James Milner still kicking a football?
Yeah, in Haley FC. But listen, we'll see what happens. I mean, Darwin Núñez is a good player. Would I swap him for Erling Haaland? No, not at all. But
I wouldn't even swap him for Mane.
That's that.
Okay.
Yeah,
Would you swap him for Alvarez?
Yeah.
No.
Would you swap him for Alvarez?
Nah, I might swap him for Alvarez.
Well, from what I've seen of Alvarez, I would.
I'm just saying. I don't think Liverpool needs something to be excited about. So they're going to hype him up.
True.
They have to. They have no choice. They have to hype him up. He's their number one signing. They gotta hype him up. But I think they're going to have to find a different way to play football. The way they played football before with Mane pressing and what he can do, they're going to have a different way. I don't think Diaz has done that enough where he warrants, and we know Salah doesn't do that. So it's left to Diaz to do the pressing now with Nunes. Nunes is not that kind of player, but we'll find out when the season starts. But I think he's going to be okay for them.
That's why I agree. I wouldn't bother. I think Alvarez, I'd keep Alvarez over Nunes. If we didn't have Haaland, then I'd probably bring both. I'd love to have a player like Nunes because I just think he's a good plan B. And I think that for Liverpool, that's them. Even though he's came in for the money, don't get it twisted. They can easily now go back to Jota if they need to get Jota. Then if that doesn't work, they can now switch to go back to Nunes. So I think it's good always having plan Bs. But I don't know, man. I just think that this... I'm more interested in that Fabio Carvalho because I was watching the Championship quite a bit last season, and he's a talented guy, that man. So it'll be interesting to see how he fits in there. But as you said before, Luis Diaz, how will he step up this season? Mane letting him go, that's a big Premier League legend that out of the Premier League. Then you got the other, and Mane was clutch as well. A lot of times, man, I would be punching my TV, like not my TV, but my every time he scores, man, I'd be literally punching my seat. I'd be literally I'd be like, oh, not again. I'd be like, oh, you end up going to bed depressed because you're like, oh, I have to go back to another title race the week after. But nah, man, listen, I'm Divock Origi as well, man. I'm gonna be these guys are going, man.
Yeah. Ricky, look at the WhatsApp group for the link to the show real quick. We're gonna switch gear quickly and talk about our club, the club we love, the club that we follow, the Boys in Blue.
Yeah.
And yesterday, Patrick and I were just talking smack, after a show, after the Liverpool fan show. We watched a clip about Delap, and there are a couple of facts about Delap that we want to make sure we kind of premise before we start. Delap has played for the EDS for 2 years, correct? Or 2.5, 3 years, right? Every single year, he has battered that league to the point where it's almost ridiculous. And Patrick talks about the fact that there was one game, the last game of the season, where they're playing against Leeds, and Leeds scored a goal, and Delap got upset and just took the ball and smashed it in once or twice, right? We watched him yesterday playing the Under-19 championships against Israel in the final game, which they won. One guy tried to tackle him in the box. Should have been a penalty. Delap basically arrested the guy to the ground, took the ball, took a shot, and somebody else scored the goal and they won the championship.
Yeah.
And so while we're thinking about that, we said, okay, what will our team look like if we get the players that we're supposed to get? And so what I'm going to show you now is kind of what the thoughts are around looking at, folks who could come in. So let's start from what we call the front seven. Okay, we know Phil's not going anywhere. We know Jack's not going anywhere. We both know that. We all know that they play on the left-hand side. Do we all agree generally that we're going to see them on the left side, either Phil or Jack? We know Phil can play number 8 side, but we think he's going to end up playing as a left winger with Jack. I mean, do we concur on that?
Yeah.
Okay. And then we get to that number 9. And this is kind of where we thought, wait a minute. What if Delap just signed a 6-year contract last year or this year, right? What if Delap is Haaland's understudy and can play the alternative as a number 9? And then Alvarez, Mahrez, and Palma are the ones who can switch either as a false 9, a number 9 if Alvarez wants to, or can play on the right side. What do you guys think about that front, 5, if you would, or front 7, 7?
I think the plan was always to have. So Delap had a rough year, man. He had a rough year. That injury set him back. The plan was always to have Delap be our number 9. That was always the plan. And then he just got injured. That injury just set him back, and then it was always trying to catch up. And then I believe he got injured again while he was coming back. And then he didn't. And then we were like, all right, we need a different plan, because now we're not sure if he's injury prone or if he can actually carry the weight of being number 9 for this club. So that's what happened to Delap. I think now with Erling Haaland, the focal point, there's no pressure on Delap. Is tired or whatever, or maybe he got injured. Delap can come in for him at number 9. We've seen what he can do. Yeah. The guy looks like Haaland. He's big, physical, quick, and he can finish. So I've always thought Delap was. I don't know. We've spoken about it. I always liked Delap, man. I always wanted him to be our number 9. I felt like he'll be good with De Bruyne. So with Erling coming in, I think he has a chance to be like not really an understudy, because they're kind of the same age, but he can kind of say, look at this as competition. If I get my chance after maybe it's in the FA Cup, maybe it's in the League Cup. If I get my chance, I'm going to show these guys that, look, I'm not a Haaland, but I'm pretty close. I could be pretty close. I have the potential to be close. And that's how Pep needs to see. With Alvarez, I'm not quite sure what we're going to do with Alvarez. If we're losing all of these guys on the right, if we're losing Sterling, if we're losing all these guys that we know, can play the wing, Alvarez might have to kind of do what Jesus used to do. Play in the middle, play on the wing. And I think he can do that. I think he has the skill to do that. Palma, I think the ceiling is so high for Palma. I love Palma so much. He's one of my favorite English players. I think the ceiling is high for that boy. And I just hope he just stays healthy. No injuries. But this lineup you got, I don't want to take too much time. I like this lineup. I think it's good. I think Marketing needs to do more to impress me. I really have to talk about that. All right. I'll wait.
I want to welcome Ricky. Ricky, how about now, Niger? Welcome to the show, brother. Ricky.
He's not on yet.
Oh, he's there. I see him. Ricky. He's Patrick Abu. He's right there.
Oh, okay.
Okay. Let's go. I'd be certified. I mean, again, Patrick and I are kind of bouncing ideas off. Look, I know there's a lot of panic of Sterling is leaving, Jesus is leaving, but when you look at this squad of 23, I mean, surely you have to be excited about the prospects of having that front five, right? Or really, I mean, you have Phil, Jack, Haaland, Delap. They got Alvarez, Mahrez, or Palma rotating with that front. I mean, what do you think? I mean, how do you see this?
I think we're lucky. Last season as well to have not a lot of injuries in the attacking areas. And if we can have another season like that with the options that we've got, we'll be very lucky, guys. Because these guys, even Jack Grealish, man, he's looking much more fitter this season. He's looking a little bit more leaner, so he looks a bit more ready for the season. So I'm excited for the season. I'm excited to see how Alvarez adapts. I'm excited to see how Haaland adapts as well. But I don't think Haaland needs adoption, but more than Alvarez. So that's why I'm looking more at Alvarez, how he does. But I think I'm really excited, man. I'm really excited. The fact that we've got obviously possible incomings as well. Calvin Phillips, I do think is already done. But because you see with Calvin Phillips, the ball's over the top. I think that should be important. But also Cucurella might come. You know, that's another creative outlet.
Yeah.
Cancelo's there, De Bruyne, Silva, the Gundogan. There's so it's a beautiful time, man. It's a beautiful time to be a City fan.
Yeah, Pat, I watched Alvarez's last game last week, the one that they played against Villa Sarsfield that they lost 1-0 in the Copa.
Yeah.
The coach played a 4-4-2. He played a striker, and then he played Alvarez as a right-sided striker. But Alvarez had this funny role. He wasn't playing as a traditional striker. He was playing almost as a second striker just behind the number one striker. So he was kind of rolling around and connecting passes.
So the Lukaku Martinez issue.
A bit like what Harry Kane does, basically.
Oh, his movement, Ade, Patrick, his movement is just, I mean, this guy didn't put the pass wrong. He literally was moving the ball left, right, connected passes, making those runs, giving up. He was beautiful to watch on and off the ball. And I think when the club saw him, like, this kid can play for us. I'm interested, like Ade said, Patrick, in do we play this guy in that right-sided area where Jesus played or where Sterling played to compete with Riyad Mahrez and Cole Palmer? What do you think?
The kid is talented. I think Ade is right. The kid is talented, though. That's the thing about Alvarez. Looks like there's a lot of talent. It's not even. You know, like Haaland has to be a striker. It is what it is. And Ade, you can agree with me. Haaland is built like a striker. He only has to be a striker. Why Alvarez can surprise you? Because even if you look at that game where he threaded a pass from midfield and put one of the guys through for a goal.
Yeah,
I seriously don't see Haaland doing that. You know what I mean? I've seen him do it at Dortmund, but it's outside the box where he's done like a back heel or like a pass in. But Alvarez looks like he can drop back. It's what Pep wanted with Harry Kane. I see Alvarez does it for his team. When things are not working, Alvarez drops in and starts creating. So for me, look, South Americans are very skilled. They can play anywhere. I think Alvarez, looking at him, because Aguero said he was actually moved into striker. He was actually a winger. I don't know if you saw Aguero on his stream. He said Alvarez is a striker who was moved from the wing. That's what Aguero said in his stream. Somebody was translating, but Aguero said that he's a striker that was moved from the wing. So it looks like Alvarez started younger in the wing sides, and then he was moved into the striker. Then people said, "Oh my God, this kid can ball." You know what I mean? This kid can ball as a forward. I see that's what he's going to play. I see Pep loves him so much. You can see Pep is the one who's after this kid, because the coach from the team he is keeps saying Pep won't allow this. Pep won't allow this. So it looks like it's Pep who say this boy has to come in. And I think the kid is already. I wouldn't be surprised if he's already in England, because when they were done, I saw him in a plane. Did you see that? On a plane, a private plane. I don't know if you guys have seen the pictures. Have you seen the picture and the videos? Alvarez was in a plane already. I think he's already in England, believe it or not, because there was a plane as soon as he was done playing football.
Apparently, there's a presentation of new signings on July the 10th.
Correct.
Yeah, Charlie said it's pretty.
Apparently, he's going to be him.
Just coming to Ricky. Welcome. How are you, brother? Are you okay? Can you hear us? Ricky. This is your.
I think he might be having some internet connection.
Poundland.
Yo, can you guys hear me?
We hear you.
Can you guys hear me? Oh, okay. So I'm having a little bit of issues, but I'm here though. I'm here. Just to quickly join into the topic at hand a little bit before I go, because it's a little bit. I'm outside and can hear all the external elements. Anyway, obviously, I'm really, like everybody, I'm excited. I'm excited by all the prospects, all the new people coming in, and all the possibilities. Because if you are someone that likes dynamism, always changing formations and all of that, you'll really be excited to see the kind of players that are coming in. Especially a guy like Alvarez. He's a complete, in my eyes, he's a complete forward in the sense that he can actually go through all the forward positions and would be just as efficient, as effective to the game. And it's just going to be exciting to watch that kid. And of course, we know what Haaland can do. Everybody knows what Haaland can do. Like he has been able to show to world football that he can do one thing, and he can do one thing so very well. That is score goals. And if there's anything we need, it's just not his goals, but his ability to score goals in crucial time. Like when we really absolutely need those goals, he's going to come. He's going to bully his way into the box. And once he has that half chance, shit, give him a quarter chance, he's making a goal out of it. Okay, I'll be on mute for a bit.
No problem. Thanks for joining us. Lachelle Blue says, watch you replay game for a few times. Alvarez is great, but needs to adapt to the new system. Yeah, absolutely. And they all need to adapt to the new system. My hope is that because his manager right now, Marcelo Gallardo, plays similar to what Guardiola does, high pressing, possession-based soccer football. He's used to playing like that. He plays with Messi in the national team. He knows the runs that Messi makes. He understands that. I'm hoping that he'll be able to adapt to our team quite easily. But City have him. The City paid $1.5 million for him to terminate his loan deal as of June 30th. So his last game for River was last week. I believe he's on his way to Manchester, and we should get him on July 10th, as confirmed by the club.
What kit number do you think is going to wear? What kit number?
I hope it's number 7.
I hope it's number 16.
Do you know what I said, Ade? I said I hope he goes to City, and actually even before Raheem goes, they tell Raheem, can you give us that jersey? Pass it over, please. Or Raheem just walks in when he's saying goodbye and just finds the number 7 is in somebody's name.
Who has number 16 again?
What? Adam.
Who has number 16 again? Isn't it number 16? The number 16 shirt.
Aguero's old
number 16 is Rodri, isn't it? Number 16 is Rodri.
Oh yeah, 16.
I was gonna say you could have gave his old number to what's his name, Julian Alvarez, but Rodri has.
Yeah.
No, I think it'll be 20. I think it'll be 21. I think it'll be 21.
That's a good shout.
Isn't 21 going to Markete?
Oh man, he shouldn't get 20. Now this 21 from David Silva. We had Ferran Torres after. Like, come on, man. Yo, I don't know why we're trying to downgrade this number 21 shit, man. Listen. I don't know, man. This McAtee, I don't know, man. If McAtee gets 21 already, I don't know because we'll even start next season that many games, McAtee. Like, I'm not too sure about that one.
Let's talk about McAtee in the midfield then, guys. We talked about the front five. We all think that's a good shout, and we're not as worried with Jesus leaving or even Sterling leaving if we have that front five. Talk about the midfield. Let's look and see. Bernardo, I've said Bernardo ain't going anywhere. In my opinion, I think the money that City would command from Barcelona would be too much for Barcelona, given all the issues that they have. He has 3 years left in his contract. Maybe next year he goes, but I think he stays this year. Gundogan has 1 more year left. I think he's going to go on a free after the 1 year, so he stays. Kevin, McAtee, and then we come to the midfield.
On Bernardo Silva, from the reports that I've heard, apparently when Sterling leaves, apparently they're going to offer him what Sterling was on to Bernardo Silva. I think Sterling's on 300k, if I'm correct, apparently.
Bernardo's
from the rumors that I heard, that allegedly that they're going to give Bernardo Silva the same amount that Sterling was on, 300k.
And Adam, he's worth every penny. I mean, Adam, if you remember the game we played against Liverpool at Anfield, Bernardo's work rate and the way movement with the ball, I mean, man, he's just special.
Bernardo has to stay, man. Out of all the players that I feel like we should keep, Bernardo's the number 1 on my list.
Is there anybody in world football like him? And I'm not trying to be like Liverpool, you know.
I don't think so. I think he's like
and you know what? Like, I actually have been thinking about it. Like, there's really no one else that fits a Bernardo mold. Like, if you think properly, you'll come up with someone like Messi, and then that's about it. I mean, Odegaard has been able to show a little bit of it, but he isn't as solid. Like, I really think he's a one-of-one. It's crazy.
It's incredible. I mean,
yeah, he doesn't lose the ball, and that's what you want. He's so much like David Silva. I mean, he got to do a lot more to get to David Silva's level, but he's pretty much almost there. He does what David Silva does. He finds those passes. He's always with the ball. You can't get it from him, and 9 out of 10 times he's making the right play. So he's like a 1-to-1 with David Silva. With Messi, he's a little bit like Messi. Just Messi's also going forward, giving you goals. So I will put him more in that David Silva, Iniesta category. He's right there.
Yeah.
The one thing I love about Bernardo Silva is he absolutely hates Liverpool same amount as how much I hate Liverpool as well.
Let's talk about the new boy coming in. Yeah, he's not been announced yet, but we all feel he's going to be announced in. This is a guy that everybody who knows me, Ade knows me very years now. Patrick knows me for a while now. Calvin Phillips. I've been banging on about this guy for years.
Yeah, we know.
I'm sorry.
Weren't you exposed that you didn't bang about him?
Oh, you saw the discussion, right?
Yeah, I saw someone was trying to expose you.
That I didn't say Calvin Phillips was going to come. We talked about this guy. We actually had a show. I think Ade was on the show. It was Ade, myself, Michael, you, Patrick, Adam. We looked at all the CDMs and we said, who do we think is likely to come? We looked at Bissouma, we looked at Frank Kessie, Frankie de Jong, we looked at Declan Rice, we looked at even our boy Romeo Lavia, and then we looked at Calvin Phillips, and we said we believe that Calvin Phillips is the direct replacement for Fernandinho. Why? Because of his heat map, his numbers, the accuracy, and the closeness of how he plays with like Fernandinho. And here we are today. I mean, we have him. Certified. How do you feel about this? Being an Englishman in England. And Adam, how do you feel about this? Certified. Well, Adam.
We lost him. We lost him.
Do we lose him?
I'm here. I was busy messaging. That's why. So,
yeah, Calvin Phillips. Talk.
For me, he was the perfect replacement in Fernandinho after the shot that me, you, Patrick, and Ade, and I think Mikey as well, that we did. That we went through every single stand, and to our surprise, Calvin Phillips was the one that stood out of all of the bunch, out of Bissouma and some others. I forgot the others. Yeah, but Calvin Phillips was the one that we looked at, and it stood out that he is the person to replace Fernandinho. Funny enough, and we got it right.
Absolutely. Yeah,
Search
for you there. Ade, go ahead.
Yeah, I mean.
No, I'm here. Oh, sorry.
Go ahead.
No, but go on, Ade. Sorry, I was still here, man. I was just checking something.
Yeah, I was saying that. Go ahead, Ade. Go ahead.
I was gonna say, yeah, I'll give you your credit. You've always raved about Phillips, even in Bielsa's first season with in the league. You were talking about Calvin Phillips. I was like, man, shut up. Who's this Calvin Phillips guy? And then I watched him. I was like, you know what? Cal got a point. This man seemed like he will function in our team. So I know you've always had an eye out for him, and I think he'll be wonderful playing on our team because if he's played for Bielsa, that's pretty much like playing for Pep. So he knows what his demand is of that role. He knows what he has to do. I think it's a good signing, and I think I just don't know how much he'll be able to play. If Rodri's in top form, are we going to keep him in League Cup or FA Cup? Because we got to see him play because World Cup's coming up. He's going to want to go out there and do his thing. So I don't know how much he plays. We'll see though. But I think he's a good signing.
Yeah, the funny thing about him is because the schedule is so tight this year. I mean, I think September we have like 12 games to play in like 4 weeks or something. It's ridiculous, right? Look at the Champions League. We actually end up playing the Champions League game, the last game of the Champions League group stage in late October. So from September through October, we're playing all the Champions League games, we're playing the EFL games, we're playing the Premier League games. I expect him to get some game time. It's just
plus 5 subs. 5 subs.
And we got 5 subs. And we have 5 subs. You're absolutely right. I mean, so the work that we all did, it's not just me, we all did in January. We spent about 2 or 3 hours, I remember, exhaustively looking at every single potential opportunity for CDM, the heat map analysis, the data, and we said, hey, we think this guy is going to be the guy to come in. And here we are today. It's a credit to you guys here.
Are you not going to share with the guys that video you sent where somebody says they feel that maybe Phillips and Rodri might play in the same team and Rodri will help Phillips in defense, but Rodri will try carry the ball more and Rodri will be given a more attacking attributes as Rodri apparently in Atletico Madrid, when he was given a chance to play as an attacker, he killed it. He had a lot of goals and assists.
There's a channel that I follow. I can't remember the name. I'll share it later on. It's a really good channel. They have some really good animation. And
Talk football.
talk football, and they called it the Calvin Phillips butterfly effect. Now, what that means is when you bring a player or introduce a factor into something, it changes how everything also occurs. So by bringing in Calvin Phillips into the team, there are going to be changes in how we play. They talked about how Phillips helps with the build-up.
Sorry, Carl. That's what I was saying to you last time you were talking. That's what I could see us playing, say, a 4-2-3-1 formation where you have, say, both Rodri and Calvin Phillips in that position. And Rodri is more, say, with a fun role. Or I could be wrong. I feel like that's the benefit of having Calvin Phillips. Is more of a headache in selection. But that's the formation I feel like this could end up playing. 4-2-3, something like that formation. 4-1-2-3.
Yeah. I mean, the 4-2-3-1 is I think it's Kevin's best formation because Kevin plays that number 10 position really well. Think about the Wolves game. The Wolves game that we played, he scored 4 goals. Kevin was playing that number 10 position. He was floating around the whole place behind the striker, pinging in goals and scoring goals. But I think to get the best out of our entire team, that 4-3-3 with single number 6, 2 8s. I don't know what Pep's going to do. I have no idea what he's going to do. Maybe Ade can help us out here. How we play both Rodri and Phillips, I don't know.
I mean, playing them together?
I don't see us playing them together though. Do you?
Nah, I don't see that at all. I think.
What about in the Champions League difficult game, final for somewhere close to the finals?
It's Pep. I mean, you would have to be like one of the best teams ever for Pep to be scared enough to play 2 defensive midfielders against you. I think he comes in for Rodri. But my thing is, I think if Pep wants them to share the role, maybe even if Rodri isn't tired, he brings in Calvin Phillips with 20 minutes left in the game just to give him, because you want that guy to have playing time. The only way it gets better is in playing time in the actual game, not in practice. So that's the only way I see that working. But I am really, 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 really waiting for them to have some news about Cucurella, because I think we need João Felix to have an idea of where he will be playing most of his game. If he's going to be a right back, I'm not João Felix, sorry, Cancelo. If he's going to be a right back, we need him to know that, him and Walker, this is where you guys are going to be, and Cucurella will be our left back. I just want some news on Cucurella. I need something.
So I mean, Patrick and Certified and Adam too. You guys have been following this Cucurella deal. What's going on? Where are we with this exactly?
No, well, I think with Cucurella, the deal is just hard. That's all I'll say. It's difficult to get because Brighton want like 50-55 million, so that's why we're trying to offload Sterling. Then we're going to make an official bid. I think that's what Fabrizio Romano said. So I think once we lose another player, you'll see us making a bid, and then I think personal terms will be easy. He'll want the money. We've got the money. He wants City. He likes the project. We've got the project, and then it will be easy. But to go back,
sorry.
Yeah, just what I was saying. Just to go back, just quickly on that, because obviously I know what we're talking about Cucurella, but I wanted to say just a little thing on that Phillips thing, because I do think Phillips and Rodri will play together maybe at some point, because Bernardo Silva kind of played with Rodri in that double pivot last season. And I know obviously Bernardo Silva he's more maybe attacking minded, but I think that Calvin Phillips, if he looks bad, he might look bad going forward. Like not bad, but he might not look as good going forward because he's in a Leeds team where they need to run around and defend.
Good point.
But I think when he plays for England and would maybe play on the front foot, and Rice is the guy sitting. Phillips does sometimes he play well. So
Certified, you just ping something in my brain, and going back to Ade's point about Pep not being playing. What Bernardo? So let's go Bernardo and what Bernardo does. So Bernardo, when we play 4-3-3, Bernardo plays that 3-8, right? But Bernardo's always helping out Rodri as a second pivot in the build-out.
Yeah.
Right? So he drops back, and we play a 3, and then a 2, and then a 3. So he always drops back to make that 2 central, right? To receive the ball, help out Rodri. I think that Calvin could be Bernardo's replacement if Bernardo gets tired in the game.
It's possible.
Or if they're playing it, And so Calvin comes back and drops in, because Calvin has played that for England with Rice. Rice sits back, Calvin goes forward. In fact, that's what he used to give Sterling the goal.
It's possible.
So Sentiment has a point here.
What if we're all saying this, Cow, and Pep deploys Bernardo back to the right-hand side RW where Bernardo had one of his best seasons? What if Bernardo is the RW that Pep wants to play, and then Phillips? Because Pep is mad because I remember he keeps saying Bernardo's best time was when I put him at the wing. So what if, because I was saying we don't have right wingers, and I've just thought about it. I was like, Bernardo for Portugal plays right wing. For City, he played right wing.
I don't want to ever see Bernardo playing on the wings. Oh, yeah. God, that is
but he cooked for us, didn't he? He cooked
but for that us. Is just a waste of talent. If you put Bernardo on the wing, there's such a big waste. Oh my God.
he was okay, but essentially is his best position. I mean, that
guy. That's like putting David Silva on the wing. It's just you gotta make him work in that middle.
David Silva actually played on the wing when he came to City. Remember?
Initially, until somebody fixed their brain and they realized he should not be on the wing. But yeah, you want Bernardo Silva to cause the defense. He's there to suck in. He's like a black hole. He's there to suck in people, and then so that everyone can be free.
On Cucurella.
Sorry, real quick.
Ricky and Adam.
Yeah, from what I heard from Cucurella, we literally had an agreement with Brighton for 35 million. Yeah, and then last minute they said, "Oh, we want 50 million." They increased the fee. So, but I still see us getting it. It could be similar to what we paid for Calvin Phillips, where 42 million, and then somewhat say maybe 5 or 7 million in add-ons, something like that for Cucurella, or even 43 and then 7 million in add-ons, something similar basically.
Yeah,
everybody says we're going to bid after Raheem. That's what everybody says.
Lachelle Blue says, sorry guys, the term double pivot applies. Yeah, we never use the term double pivot here. We're saying we have two CDMs that play a double role. That is the Bernardo drops into this to help.
I think somebody mentioned pivot, and that's what he was referring to.
But sorry. I've definitely heard that. I've definitely heard that, like in football analysis. Like, I don't think it's uncommon to hear double pivots in football. But by the way, that's not what I was actually going to say. I was going to take us back a little bit to the whole Kevin Phillips situation. You know, having to play Kevin Phillips, or imagining playing Kevin Phillips and what's his name, Rodri. I only see that happening in one scenario. In a scenario when we're either trying to protect the lead in a game, or we're trying to protect a league by aggregates. Like that's the only situation, because you can afford to play. You can afford to give Rodri and Bernardo double pivot roles, because Bernardo can go forward, and he has that work rate, and he has that technical ability and know how to actually track back and make like them tackles and stuff. But I've always said I liked Philip, and I always felt he was better. He was better than Leeds, but I'm skeptical about the move up. Like I don't doubt.
Oh, we lost you, Ricky. We lost him. He's probably
probably is the internet company switched him off after I started
talking about it. He's making a good point though. I get his point where he's saying, you know, it'll be hard putting Calvin Phillips in that role where Bernardo plays, because even though Bernardo helps out Rodri sometimes, the fact that he's more of an advanced player is why he can do that, because he still knows what his role is. So I get what Ricky was trying to say. Ricky, we got you, bro.
Yeah, absolutely. This is kind of why we're here, and we're learning from each other, right? Adam, do you have something to say?
No, I was just saying about Ricky. He's probably connected to our brother Anthony, our Nigerian brother Anthony, is new camp.
So what are we saying about Cucurella? What are we saying? We think it's going to happen? Certified, Patrick?
I hope so. I hope so.
I think it will. Because the thing is, what I've noticed is City, when they work on somebody, they go to somebody. They don't work on two people at the same time. I've never seen them. The only time they did this was the time for Yaya and them. But I've noticed that I think the key is Raheem. Do you remember that time when we were talking, Carl, and I told you that I don't know if I was telling you guys, I said that I think the key maybe is Jesus. Jesus gets sold. I think they're looking at the fact that this guy leaves, this guy comes in. I think as soon as Raheem moves, you will see movement on Cucurella. I think you'll see movement when Raheem leaves. I think they want to just concentrate on the Raheem. And you say yourself, we've got so many days left. I think he's coming. Like, there's no way. I don't know, Ade, how active you are on Twitter. When Phillips was announced that has been signed, Cucurella liked both statuses.
Oh, yeah. I follow these guys on Twitter, man. I follow Fabrizio, and
Yeah, he liked them. Then after he was exposed by City fans, he unliked them. But he liked them. So
yeah,
I
I
think
saw
he
it. I saw
he
it.
truly wants to make the move. And I don't care if Brighton are posting his picture every day at training, saying he's happy to be home. They're wasting their time. Come on, stop wasting your time.
What do you guys think of that German one that apparently that we also link with, the one that German left back?
Is it Raum? Raum? Is it Raum
I
or
think Raum? I can't pronounce his name because I'm gonna butcher it.
Nobody
I didn't
knows
know.
that
I didn't know
guy,
we're
bro.
linked to him. I haven't seen anything on that.
Patrick, you know what we need to do, guys, is if you want to check out what's going on with Cucurella, is look and see what's happening with Brighton and their left back recruitment.
Yeah.
Once you see traffic there, you know it's done.
Correct.
It's similar to what you were saying about Calvin Phillips when they signed that player. What's his name again?
Marco,
That's
yeah,
the one
Marco.
Yeah. So similar to that, if we see them linked to a left back and we get the hero goal, then that for me that will indicate that.
Yeah.
Then that will indicate that he's gone.
Yeah. Once you start seeing traffic about some player coming in for Brighton on the left side, and you just know it's done.
Yep.
Just track every single one of their moves. You know it's probably. I think it's going to end up happening for the most part. But I mean, looking at the squad, and we got a new goalkeeper, Patrick and Ade.
Yeah.
Our prayers were answered after we cried and prayed. Do you know what? It's as if somebody from Man City is watching what the fans are saying, because the fans cried about Stefan. They're like, "Oh my God!" After those two FA Cups, we're done.
But Patrick, because the fan base generally, the fan base are very analytical. We're very calm. We understand football. We know what we need, right? We cried about Stefan, that this guy just, I mean, he needs game time. He's rusty. He's panicky. We cried about we need a number 6, maybe Calvin Phillips. We cried about we need a striker, Erling Haaland. We cried about Raheem's 1v1 misses. He may be going to Chelsea. They're football people. These guys are football people. They see the same things that we see. They probably have ghost accounts on Twitter reading all our stuff. I'm thinking about what's going on. Pep sees all the stuff. I'm telling you.
But in all fairness, do you think he was getting away with that, Kyle, though? Do you think he was getting away with 2 FA Cups with silly mistakes like that? Look, I get it, he's rusty, but come on. Other keepers have done backup before. Even Muric, whatever his name is, backed us up in the cup and never made silly mistakes like that. Stefan, yes, I know you haven't played. I know you're playing there and there, but he was making silly mistakes in most games. Even Bravo, even Caballero, when he came in as a cup keeper, they were not making those mistakes. He cost us those games. I'm sorry to blame him, but if you look at those games, he cost us those games by making silly decisions. Remember the Ziyech goal where he kicked it back to Ziyech.
Patrick, he's going to be he's going to be happy with this move. Mikey, our brother Mikey.
Mikey's happy.
Mikey, our brother Mikey, is the one that will be the most happiest. He just wants competition.
What do you know about this new keeper? Adam, what do you know about him? Give us some intel.
Yeah, before Adam says anything, all I can say is, according to what he's been rated by Bundesliga, at the point even Bundesliga themselves said goodbye to the best second keeper we had in the league. Wow. I don't know if you saw the video. They posted him. So that's how much even Bundesliga says goodbye to you and rates you. The thing about him is, I don't know, Ade, if you look at the clips, they call him apparently Mr. Funny Saves. He makes the most weird and funny saves ever. He saves with body parts that you're not supposed to, Ade. He saved one with his back. Where somebody hit it, he went there with his back, saved it with his back. So the good thing about him is he knows how to save. The kicking is not that great. But the thing about Edison is he's a freak. Because this keeper's passing is also great, but it's not as Edison, I think, is just once in a while. You've never seen somebody like him. But the kicking is great. Under pressure, I saw him dribble a few people, pass the ball. So I think City looked at him saying, this guy can pass. If we are going in a cup game, at least this guy under pressure can pass. Because I've seen him confidently pass it from the back, confidently pull the ball from a defender, go almost halfway and pass the ball, get in there, do the sweeper thing. So it looks like he can do the job. But as I said, if people expect Edison level passing, we're lying to ourselves. I think if this guy just has a half as good as Edison passing, but I think it's the saving. I think I think the City board have seen the way he saves that. Okay, regardless the passing, this guy can save because he can save. Trust me, he can save.
I mean, the reality is that he's a better shot stopper than Edison, but Edison's distribution is. I mean, Edison has a world record. I mean, Edison has a world record, right? It's not even a question. You go to the world record, Guinness Book of Records, he's died there. Edison, it was on video. So Edison's a freak when it comes to distribution. Yes, his shot stopping is a little bit to be desired, but that's where this guy comes in. In the FA Cup, in the Carabao Cup, at least we have confidence that at least we have a guy who can shot stop, and who can also pass the ball because you won't face.
And good at penalties.
Exactly. So I'm excited about him. Stefan needs to get some more game time. He seems a little nervous, Ade. It just seems to be. Remember the game with Chelsea 2 years ago at Stamford Bridge where he handled the ball
to Ziyech.
Right? Yeah, Ziyech, exactly. So he needs to.
Again, this is one of those situations where it's the guy wants to play. US is in the World Cup. He has to play. Yeah. So he has to go somewhere where he's getting regular game time. Because if it was left to us, we will be keeping him. We wouldn't be changing. If Stefan wanted to stay at City, we would be keeping Stefan, regardless of anything else. Because the likelihood of any goalkeeper getting time during the Premier League or Champions League is slim. The only time they're going to get is Carabao Cup, FA Cups, which don't come fast enough before the World Cup starts. And that's why he has to leave, because he needs game time. But Ortega, as good as he is, we're not going to see much of him. We're going to see him. We're going to see him Carabao Cup. We're going to see him FA Cup. It's going to be Edison. If Edison's healthy, Edison starts every Premier League game. He starts every Champions League game. Yeah. And that's just the fact. That's the nature of what the EPL is. So I don't really get lost in, goalkeeper is not doing what a goalkeeper that's not getting enough game time is not going to be as sharp as the goalkeeper that gets game time. That's just facts.
I remember Carson is our third goalkeeper, and he gets one game?
Yeah, he gets like half a game. It's like that's anything. It's like I don't check about it.
Did you hear what he said in his interview?
Yeah, about Haaland.
Yeah, he says he scored against every keeper in the Bundesliga except me.
Big Morgan, I hear you. I know we need a keeper that saves pens, but for what Edison gives you, you have to make sacrifices. So if you want to keep it that saves pens and you go with Ortega, guess what? That distribution you get, you don't have it anymore. So you have to kind of weigh it and say, what's more valuable to me? The distribution I get from Edison and the way he's able to, know who's here, or do I get the keeper that if they happen to get a penalty, you can stop? Well, those are not good trade-offs.
To answer your point,
you know what I can see happening is you can see Haaland running through the defense.
Exactly.
And you could easily see Edison pinging one ball to Haaland, and Haaland
precisely. Adam, that's precisely why we have Edison, to do that.
Ortega also had 2 assists, I think so.
Hey, Patrick, behave.
Behave yourself.
I think about
Patrick.
I think about Edison pinging that ball from his box all the way up front. Because remember, on the goal kick, there is no offside on the goal kick.
No, so but then, if I'm correct here, I remember Edison did one for Leroy Sané. I think it was against Arsenal. Aguero, where he pinged the ball and Aguero just threw on the volley. And that's what I could see Haaland doing the same thing.
Yeah. Taye, I hear you, man. Keep on your game time, man. Morgan, I want both as well, but I would take Edison.
It's hard. It's hard. I mean, think about Chelsea. You have Mendy, who's a fantastic shot stopper, but Kepa is a brilliant distributor of the ball. It's like, okay, but to get both in one keeper, it's almost
it's hard. Hard to do.
It's hard. You trade one for the other. But we are where we are. So, I mean, we've been going for about an hour and more. I mean, we just wanted to chat with you guys to kind of talk about the transfer, where we are right now. We're hoping that Cucurella joins us. Well, last question to you guys, real quick. Do you guys get a sense that City are stockpiling cash for a big player to come in? I mean, hearing this rumor, I'm hearing this thing in the background about we're selling these kids, we're stockpiling cash for something big to come in.
You know who that player I think it could be? I don't know, but for some reason in the back of my head, something just tells me Joao Felix. I don't know why. In the back of my head, keeps coming to me. Joao Felix.
Joao Felix. Where would they put him though? Where would you put a Joao Felix?
That's the issue. That's
See, when I think of potential of getting someone, he has to fit somewhere on the field for me. So if I look at the position, the only thing I see them saving for right now is Cucurella, because that's the only. Or if Nathan Ake leaves, maybe you say we're going for a center back. You know, delete.
Oh, Ade,
So those
Ade, by the way, Kukurea plays LCB and LB.
Oh, okay.
Yep.
Okay.
Apparently, he was playing for Burnley a few times, and people when Dunk was injured.
Ah, interesting. So yeah, like Adam, I agree with you. If we're stockpiling cash, I don't think it's for an attacker. It has to be somewhere in the defense because that's where we need help. You know, it's got to be. Maybe delete. Maybe Big Morgan is right. Maybe it's delete. I don't know. It could be. It could be. You don't know. He'll rather play for us than United, who's in Europa, right?
I did. I posted a link on the WhatsApp group where me and Carl. Apparently, Juventus want Gundogan in return, like a swap deal. Gundogan and Zinchenko as like a part of the deal, basically for De Ligt. I don't know how true it is. It's probably something.
Yeah, I saw that, but the only challenge is that how do you trade a player that you don't have, right?
That's the problem.
Because I mean, Chelsea don't have the player yet; they can't trade him now. Juventus can say, "Hey, look, we'll take," or Chelsea can say, "We'll take Ake. You guys, we'll leave out De Ligt. You guys can go for De Ligt because Ake can play, left of the three, and also play, So I just feel like they're stockpiling cash for something because all these academy players they're selling off. I mean, kudos to the academy. Lots of money is going out, and we only got Haaland for 51 million. Remember, that was the Torres money.
Yep.
Right. We got Jesus money comes in for Calvin Phillips.
Yep.
So you have a net spend positive right now.
Yeah.
And you're earning money from Champions League. You're earning money from the Premier League. That's about 200-300 million earning. You have match day revenue coming in. You're going to earn about 300 million pounds in revenue profit over what you had last year. So
hey, it could be the most obvious thing. Maybe shareholders want some money in their pocket.
Yeah,
you never know, man. You never know.
There is one thing I think that's affecting all this stuff that's going on. Remember, we talked about UEFA's new rule coming up next year, the 70% wage income rule.
Yeah.
Clubs must begin to comply with this rule, or else they'll begin to take points off them in the Champions League. Right now, City are about 80% wage to income. So we have to drop that down to about 70% or 90% next year, and then 80%, then 70%. That's kind of how they want to do it. So maybe this is the way to do that. But we're still
maybe we're saving for Jude next year. I would love Jude on our team. That'd be great.
Liverpool fans believe they're going to get Jude next year.
I
don't know. I don't know about that one. I need Liverpool. Hey, listen, Liverpool, they're starting to spend more, man. But I don't know, man. I think that Jude Bellingham, I don't even think I don't know, man.
Did you see how I exposed them on Twitter? They say that they don't have the money, but yet the Salah new deal is going to cost them 80 million over 3 years. Yeah. So you telling me you get this narrative from the media and Liverpool fans that actually believe the rubbish from them, that they don't have the money to compete. But yeah, they're giving Salah 3 years, 80 million. So where is that? Where is that money? Where's that money coming from?
Yeah.
It's not like Jesus gave them the money.
I mean, the reality is that Salah's worth that money, right? Think about
he is.
For them. So it's like they have to do it. They trade off money to get Salah, and so it is what it is with them. But Certify. Any last words from everyone, real quick, for a wrap up? We've been going for about an hour and 40 minutes now, and I can't believe we've been going for that long. Are you happy with what we posted? Are you looking forward to the 10th of July, which is next Sunday? I mean, just go through everyone. Certified, Ade, Adam, and then Patrick.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to that, man. I think that bring on preseason. Football is just, hey, it's long when you don't have it. When it's there and you're in the title races, you're like, man, I can't wait for this to be over. The stress will be gone and all that. When it's gone, you're like, man, I miss those title races, those times. But yeah, that's how I feel right now. I just want preseason. I want to see how some players do. I want to see some of the young players, how they do. Obviously, I'm expecting. As for the senior players, I want to see what they'll do against Liverpool in the Community Shield. How we take that? Will we take a strong team for that, or will we play and then West Ham away? That will be the first real game where I'm like, yeah, okay, this is the start of the season. Show me what you got now. So but just bring football, man, back. I've kind of missed it, but yeah, I mean, we lost that assistant guy, Lilo guy. I think he left to manage this other team, and we've brought in a new assistant manager.
Yeah.
So I'm excited to see if he has any influence as well.
Well, Certified, you do know that the guy we're bringing back is Enzo. He used to be the guy who actually brought up Delap and McAtee and Palmer, all those guys. He's the guy who's coming back.
Yeah.
He's the guy.
That could be crucial for Palmer. That could be crucial for Palmer, yeah.
Exactly. Okay, cool. Ade.
Yeah, like Adam was saying, was it Certified? I'm just waiting for the season to start. I want us to either I want them to tell the fans, okay, we're done. We're signing nobody else, so I can just know, okay, this is the team we're going into the season with, and so I can just get on with it. But if there's still a chance we can get a Cucurella or a Delete, to back up Ake if Ake leaves, or I just want them to finalize everything. And I think in the next coming week or two we should have a clear picture on what the team's going to be. But I'm excited. As always, I pray for no injuries during the season, or as little as possible, because I know you can't avoid injuries. And we'll see where the cards play. Like, it's Liverpool, it's Spurs. Those are the teams we're picking right now. I think Chelsea's still going to be in the mix somehow. So we'll see.
Yeah. Adam, coming to you real quick. July 11th is the first day of preseason. I believe they fly out to America on the 11th. Are you curious to see who's on the plane and who's not?
Yeah, I would love to see that. See who's going to be on there and who won't be. Just to see who will be remaining at the club and who will be leaving. But I think, for me, Gabriel Jesus is technically confirmed after seeing the pictures that are going around on Twitter of him wearing the Arsenal kit. But Sterling, I think Sterling's most likely gone as well. But I don't know if he's gone yet. And who else is leaving? Ake, I'm not sure, but I don't see Ake leaving. Bernardo, he's not leaving. So it's mostly only Gabby and Sterling who are leaving, but I don't know who else will want to leave.
Yeah. And good luck to Gabby. Good luck to Sterling, their new clubs. I mean, Ty and Chelsea fans, look after Raheem Sterling, man. When he misses 1v1, don't kill him. Don't kill him more. He'll get somebody. He'll miss some. Patrick, wrap us up real quick. If you're still there.
For me, I'm like Adam, man. I'm looking for a left back. If it's not Quileta, get Isbrand in, get any left back in. I'm tired of this thing where we have the money and we have the scouting system and we have to go to seasons where we're struggling. Because let me be honest with you, what's gonna happen is if we fail to not get a left back, we're gonna end up going in Champions League again, and then maybe Walker is injured or Rodri, and maybe it's Walker and Zinchenko at the back. How I love Zinchenko, I do, but Zinchenko, first of all, let's remember, he's not a defender. That's why I don't blame him when he does those defensive mistakes. It's not his fault. He wasn't born. He was never when he was a kid. He wasn't been taught to play there. So we're gonna end up again. Oh, if only we had a left back. I just want it to be done. Even if you get okay. If, as Ade said, tell Cancelo where he belongs. Even if you get a right back, maybe fail and get a right back and say that Cancelo, from now on you are the left back. Just tell him where he is, because this guessing, this end of minute when we're like why I'm saying all this, because my desire for the Champions League. I don't see why the team before wasn't ready, but this team has been together for so long.
Yeah.
I don't want these excuses where we go to those later stages and we're down because we don't have a proper left back. I think left back is needed. Somebody made a joke that the last time City had a proper left back, it was Clichy. Is it Clichy? His name was Clichy. Remember him?
Yeah.
Is it Clichy?
Sorry.
Proper. No, I mean like proper. We're talking about proper. At least it was halfway proper. We just need a left back who we have to just
that
forget
brother, he
that.
disgraced us. I
know. Let's just
don't forget about Benjamin Mendy. He was great. Benjamin Mendy gave you enough problems going up front where He didn't need to be there as much, but Mendy was good
but
though.
backwards. Yeah, but all I'm trying to say is let's just forget all the positions. Because the other issue was also CDM. We all talked about Ade. We talked about that we're gonna struggle with this Fernandinho thing. His man is old. We saw in the Southampton game, Spurs game. I remember you and Mikao agreed that this guy is dusted. Now we have another one. All I'm asking for, Pep, is even if just get a fallback. Just get a fallback.
Yeah,
I'm
with you, man.
Yeah.
I'm with you, brother. I'm with you. We need that left back, man.
Hey,
there's one good thing, guys.
We could always sign Patrick as the left back.
Yeah, we could.
Exactly. Here's Lachelle Blue says Marco Corella is coming 100%.
Yeah, I would love to believe you, but you got to give me some sources, buddy.
If there's one thing we know that the club listens. We know the club thinks, and we really hope that this one for the left back, it's time to get a proper one.
Yeah,
not
time.
There's a Dzeko who's doing well, not swapping Cancelo out there.
No.
Let's get a proper left back, Cucurella, and then we know that we're ready for the season.
Yep, there you go.
We want to thank everybody for joining us today. Lachelle Blue, thanks for joining. Big Morgan, Katuto, Harry Mills, who else is there? Taye for joining us. Happy birthday again for tomorrow. Ricky for joining us. Who else came on? Veta was there.
A lot of guys, man. A lot of guys came on. Sorry, I couldn't get. I was trying to get to as much comments as I could, but they were coming fast. Thank you so much. Thank you so much.
We're back again probably after the 11th. Once we get the first day of practicing, we'll see who's in, who's out, and hopefully by then we'll get Cucurella. Till then, take care, God bless, and up the Blues.
Up Blues.
Up the Blues.